An Oregon City faith-healing couple will learn their sentence in 15 days.
They were convicted in the death of their 16-year-old son. Jeff and Marcy Bigley slipped out a side door of the Clackamas County Courthouse yesterday after being convicted of criminally negligent homicide. Now, the jury was not unanimous, voting guilty 10-2. Their 16-year-old son, Neil Bigley, died after they relied on prayer instead of doctors to treat a life-threatening condition. The judge says he does not consider the Bigleys a flight risk. They will be sentenced February 18th. Sentencing guidelines range from 16 to 18 months.
Members of the Followers of Christ Church may not be talking publicly, but a former member is.
Yeah, she spoke exclusively to K2's Adam Gusimi and says she hopes the message that came from the jury speaks loudly to members.
Watching nearly every detail of the case, Myrna Cunningham can hardly believe the outcome.
And I said, oh, good. I'm delighted. It's what they need.
A former member of the Followers of Christ herself, Cunningham says her parents got out when she was 12, after years of near-death experiences, including pneumonia at just a year old, a fact that started haunting her last summer during the case surrounding the Bigleys' granddaughter, Ava Worthington.
And I said, that could have been me. But luckily, my parents left, and I've had a completely different life.
Cunningham says she hopes the guilty verdicts bring change that protects other children, change that's too late for the Bigleys' teenage son, Neil, a victim of a belief structure, she says, imprisons its members.
I don't consider them a church. I think it's a cult. It truly is.
Now as our rare window into their secluded world closes,
They don't try to bring people in like other churches. It's not a church.
Cunningham knows the only reason she's alive today is from the medical treatment her family had to be shunned to receive.
My mother and I have been so glad that we left when we did. I'm so thankful to them.
Cunningham says she still has a number of family members she hasn't spoken with in 40 years, and she hopes the judge hands down appropriate sentences in order to break the silence of something she says is simply wrong. In Oregon City, Adam Gusimi, K2 News.
We have received responses to viewers' voice, all in favor of this guilty verdict. Barbara from Newburgh writes, parents have an obligation to take care of their children and keep them from harm and provide them with medical care when they need it. They failed as parents and as human beings. A. Nichols says they allowed their son to die and they should pay the price for it. Anyone else would have been found guilty. Stay with K2 News for continuing coverage of the faith-healing verdict. In between newscasts, you can find the very latest at KATU.com.